of all the characters you've played, how does this experience stand up to the others? Like, what is it about this character that that's going to make it stand out in your memory?
I mean, the whole experience was really quite amazing. This was the first leading part I had played since the birth of my son. He's nearly 3 now, actually, but at the time he was about 15, 16 months old when we shot this movie. And so for me, I will always remember it as something that gave me back that kind of creative side of myself that I hadn't sort of tapped into so strongly for a little while, just because of being pregnant and just being a mum to a small new baby. So for that reason alone, it was actually kind of a very special experience, just because I was allowed to explore that side of myself again. But, you know, I do have a few favourites in terms of the characters I've played. I absolutely loved playing Clementine in Eternal Sunshine. I loved playing Marianne Dashwood. I will always have a very, very soft spot for the character I play in Heavenly Creatures, just because it was the first movie I ever did. But this one is, you know, this is a contemporary American woman who I really feel that she seems like somebody you could bump into, you know, on the street in a playground. And it was a different style of filmmaking for me. You know, the atmosphere of this film is quite different to everything else I've ever done, and I love that. You know, it almost feels quite European. So, you know, everything has had its the differences that I have, you know, found great joy in, but this one in particular was a very collaborative, rewarding and challenging experience. When I first read the script, you know, I was so overwhelmed by the power of the story and how brilliantly written it was, and the fact that Todd Field was going to direct this piece and that he was asking me to play this part. You know, that's a tremendously flattering position as an actress to be in, and an incredible challenge that I was, you know, more than happy to get involved with. But at the same time, there was a part of me that thought, oh my God, how am I gonna play this part? You know, who is she? And the truth is, I sort of knew who she was a little bit. You know, I felt as though there were definitely moments in my life, in my past, when I had felt a little bit like her, in the sense that, you know, I was trapped. Is this it for me? Is this who I really am now? In fact, who am I anyway? And, you know, just a feeling of, oh God, you know, what does it mean? The whole what does it all mean thing. I've definitely had those moments, as I think a lot of us have. And to me, this script was just very, very real and very honest, about the human condition, about people, about relationships, what happens in relationships when they go wrong, when people are unhappy in a marriage. And also, you know, she was a mother, and I, you know, as much as I didn't necessarily respect her as a parent, you know, it was exciting for me to be involved in the challenge of playing that type of a part, just because it's so far away from my own world. And that's the great privilege as an actor, is, you know, you get to go to work and pretend to be somebody else. And as crazy as it might sound, I do actually love it. I hope that an audience will walk away from this movie going, God, wow, what do you think happened to her? Do you think she stayed with her husband? Do you think she would have left him ultimately? And what about the Brad character? You know, wonder, maybe would he... If an audience walks away from having seen this movie and they're trying to figure out what is going to happen after the movie has ended, then basically that's great, because it means they were so immersed in these characters that they wanted a little bit more of what was happening. And to me, that's everything. I don't necessarily think there's a strong moral behind this story. I don't think that all movies do have a moral within them, but it certainly made me feel very, very grateful not to be these lost people, you know. It made me feel very, very happy and grateful for my husband and my beautiful, healthy children, and the fact that I get to spend so much time with them and be the mother that I really want to be able to be. So it made me very much appreciate my own life, I think.